Hey everyone, Travis here in Myeongdong, Seoul, South Korea, and Seoul with Krepo of EG. Krepo, what are you up to in Seoul these days?
I talk about video games. I eat a lot of Korean barbecue, and I do interviews with strangers.
Well, we've never met before, but it's really good to talk to you as we're surrounded by the beautiful city of Seoul. Krepo, talk to me a little bit about what the analyst desk experience and roles experience has been like for you this year, because we, sort of hinted at, or you announced actually that you were going to be on the analyst desk the last time we spoke in LA. What has it turned out for you to be like?
It's been great, but it's been more of a. I feel there's a little more pressure to deliver this time, because last year it was all fun and games, and we're just talking about games. But right now, like, it's becoming more professional, so you have to deliver in a sense. Like, you need to make sure you know what the hell you're talking about, keep your points concise. But it's always fun working together, just on a desk with everyone. And the thing I like the most this year is that Trevor's getting better even as a host. Like Trevor's quick shot, for those that don't know, like it's really fun working with him because he'd be like, yeah, guys, keep it short. And we have these little hand signals that you'll never see that we do under the table. Like, yeah, keep it. This means like, yeah, brief point, cutting you off, or next. And just like getting into that different area of LoL. I still love playing the most, but it's fun to get to be on the other side. And I love working with the production crew as well.
What's the hand signal if somebody like reaches over into somebody else's lap?
Production generally gets mad because you're ruining the shot. It means call me for a date later, but generally it hasn't happened yet. But who knows? If you reach out in my lap, actually no, never mind. Please don't.
Well, anyway, moving on. What have you thought of the games and World Championships so far? Lots of people are arguing that this might be the best World Championships yet. Of course, we don't know what the finals are going to look like, if it's going to be disappointing like last year, or if Royal's going to show up or whatever. But thoughts on the games and matches so far?
From a production value, I do think it's been the best so far. It's been a long road. We've been here for like over a month already, doing all these games, different countries. From like a tournament point of view, going back to group stages, A and B were a little dull, but turned out better than they could have. Like the best version of themselves actually. And then C and D were absolutely insane. And then we were left wondering whether Korea will be further ahead, less ahead, and it shows that White is like still a tier, like a full tier ahead of any other team, including like Koreans at this tournament. And it's so weird that Korea can produce one team a year that is just so damn good at the game, and it makes me kind of jelly.
Well, you say White is so far ahead of everybody, but I noticed TSM seemed to be able to take a game off of them. Didn't seem like, SKT last year went undefeated. Already not the case for White. Thoughts on that?
There's actually a very distinct possibility that TSM will be the only team to take a game of White in this entire tournament. However, let's be real. White was playing not on full power. As much as I like what TSM did, I think they played out that game perfectly, given the picks they had. They played with the right amount of aggression. They made the right moves. But from a team point of view, you can see when White turns on the switch, they can just decimate TSM whenever they want. They can decimate anybody in the world whenever they want. So, yeah, they took off a game. Yeah, White got a little cocky. That doesn't take anything away from TSM, in my opinion. But you should still take that result with a grain of salt, And there will be plenty of salt.
Talking about White some more, what are your thoughts on Mata as a support player? Because you're a support player. Lots of people say he might be one of the best players in the world right now. Just general thoughts on the hype versus the reality?
So whenever you see a pro player play as another pro player yourself, you're like, well, I could do that. Or, hey, there's very rare moments where you're like, damn, this guy just pulled something off that I could never do or perceive or think of in my life if you play the same role. The only thing I can think of the strategies like the 3 buff that White did as a reaction to TSM's invade game 2 of their best of 5. I'm like, I didn't even know that was possible. But back on point on Mata, yes, he does that. Sometimes he does something that you're on the edge of like, yeah, I would never think about that. But he does it consistently, and he never screws up. The guy is so solid, and consistency is so underrated when it comes to support, because we keep comparing highlight reels of each other. But like when you look at the big picture, he's always doing that. And even when you don't see him, like his vision control is always there. He's moving at the right times. He's especially in lane stop situations. If you've played him before, it's so hard knowing when to leave that lane, what lane to go to, who you bring with you, your top laner and your jungler, both of them, none of them. Where do you ward? How do you buy your items? And he is just so solid. He's support god.
One of the most interesting things about Mata and also these finals coming up, to me at least, is the bot lane versus bot lane, because we've got Mata, who might be one of the best supports in the world, or is definitely one of the best supports, might be the best. And then, pretty solid imp as well. And then on the other side, we've got Uzi, who almost undoubtedly is the best AD carry in the world, as he's shown up again the second time with Zero, who looks really great. Do you have any thoughts on like the clash of these two bot lanes, or maybe which one should be stronger, how that plays out?
I actually have no idea how it's going because I think Uzi and Zero play a very like farm Uzi through the lane, have a peel support type of game. I feel like when you compare the supports in their defensive capabilities, both of them are equal. Well, not equal, but are within the same range of each other. Like Zero peels really well, but then like once you go offense, there's almost nothing coming out from like Royal side. But then Mata can do both, So bot lane pairing, I don't think we'll see crazy kills there. We might, because the only way for Royal to like win this match is break open bot lane and just smash that and then move on to the next lanes, I feel. But I have no idea how it's going to turn out. I just hope for like just some good old fights, some level 2 all-ins, some level 3 all-ins. It'll be exciting to see.
Turning the conversation to yourself, you still planning on going back home after this to vacation? I know you said that was like vacation for you, is going home.
Yeah, my visa expired, so I'm not even allowed to in the States anymore. So I will have to go home, and oh boy, do I regret it, going home and sitting at home playing video games and going out with my friends. Oh, so dreadful.
Damn, camera guy almost got hit by a motorcycle just now. Korea's crazy. I mean, what does it look like for you whenever you go back home? Like, you're just going to chill, relax, try to get your game back? I don't know how much you've been playing while on the road, but I know talking to Double Lift, it's kind of funny because you do all the analyst desk stuff. You talk about the game so much, but at the same time, you're getting like worse and worse at the game every day it goes on and you don't have a chance to play.
Yeah, so my prerequisite coming into this was like Riot. The only way I will do analyst desks is if you allow or help me to play and practice, but the schedule was so brutal that I needed my sleep more than I did the playing time. And by now I've lost, I think, pretty much all of my quote-unquote skills. So I'm going back home and I'll be training relatively hard on the European server again, just starting from scratch, relearning everything. I'm going to aim to play like 6 hours a day at least, and then during 5 days a week, and then just do a play in gym and do that for 5 days. And then the weekends I'll keep to myself and my friends. So I have a nice mix between still working hard, training hard, building up the game again, and having decompression every weekend. Just me and my friends just going out, hanging out, go to the bar, whatever like we end up doing.
After finals for myself, I'm going to Australia on vacation, which might be a bad idea because I'm hearing so much talk about rumors of roster changes, et cetera, a lot of contracts expiring at the time. I'm sure that you're not able to speak to yourself or EG, as is the case every time I ever talk to any pro player. But have you heard anything interesting or any teases you want to put out there of like, I always hear around this time pro players just go, oh my gosh, everything's going to be crazy or everything's going to be different next year.
So yeah, there's this plan that's been leaked. Basically, you can't import 5 Koreans anymore. So what they're doing is they're getting a super team and they're sending one of each best members in the role to America. So they might send Mata to CLG, they might send Flame over to Curse, for example, and they'll do one of each role, and then after 2 years, once Mata, Flame, and all the rest get their residency, they'll leave those teams, leaving them in shambles, stealing all their secrets, and then they import the God Faker as the 5th man, and then they complete the super roster team that will win NA, the World Championships.
So it's like a 2-year in the planning Korean super team coming to North America. They're going to be like sleeper cells on all these teams, and then they'll activate, essentially.
Yes. You did not hear that from me.
Yeah, well, we'll just keep that between you and me and everybody who watches this video. Krepo, is there anything that you want to say to any of your fans out there, any shout-outs, anything in the world that you want to put out there onto the internet right now?
Yeah, I'd like to thank all the fans for just Worlds, for the desk, coming out. Just always lovely. Thank you, Travis, for doing the interview. Thank you, Sully, for doing this beautiful camera work. And then I can't really think about any sponsors. I mean, it's really hard for me, but I'm sure they'll spring to mind.
Very good. That was classy, like Superman. Either way, thank you so much, Krepo, for the interview. Really appreciate it. We'll get out of here so that the motorcycles that are coming through don't eventually kill my video producer. For everyone else, you can check out the rest of our coverage of all things Worlds at ongamers.com.